Hey, it's a Wednesday. It's Rumor and Innuendo. I'm Dominic D'Angelo of adfreeshows.com, SEScoops.com, and OneTrueSportTV.com. Per usual, for a Wednesday, I'm here with Mr. Robert Karpelis, WD Creative _ish. Robert, happy Wednesday to you, brother.
Don't worry, guys. That hey, it's Wednesday thing annoys me as much as it annoys all of you. And yet here we are, another exciting edition of Rumor and Innuendo that's called Cope In with Wheeler.
Yeah.
Why?
Why not, huh? Yeah, aren't you excited for the Dynamite tonight, Robert? Do I got to play the song?
I can.
Yeah. You ready?
So I'm excited that Evolve will be premiering tonight on Tubi. That'll be big. You see a lot of the WWE ID talent that's on there, including some of the folks that have had Dominic D'Angelo call their matches, and in spite of that, still have a chance of being signed by World Wrestling Entertainment.
They're getting elevation. I elevate. I give the rub, as it says in the business.
See, you can't say that in 2025. If you're saying you're giving wrestlers the rub, you're gonna have to go see HR. And we should see some of the folks joining us live here today.
Yes,
in the chat.
We got Johnny Disco says hello R&I. Triple E in the house. What's up? Dre Owen says hello R&I. Hump Day. Blue Tree Spot. And then he also adds AEW really needs to step up. AEW versus Evolve tonight. That's right. On the Tubi we got. Man, do you think that will be a little bit of competition for AEW? And do you think there's intentionality for it? No.
Here's the challenge. As an old man, if you tell me something's airing on Tubi,
yes,
am I going to take the time and effort and energy to go look up how to find Tubi, sign into it, watch that streaming content? Probably not.
But are old men what are watching AEW anyways, though? You know what I mean? So it's like that audience.
Old men are who are main eventing AEW.
True.
So what's the hat you're wearing? It's hard for me to see.
It says broken freaking neck. It is a Kurt Angle hat. Boom. Kurt Angle show.
Very nice.
Kurt Angle show. So there we go. Yeah. So I got it for a birthday from Paul Brommel, co-host Paul Brommel. A birthday gift. It's very nice.
What a cheap bastard that he just gave you his random merch. That'd be like if I sent you one of my amazing shirts that are available on ProWrestlingTees.com, including the creative-ish shirt that I am wearing right now.
Look at that. Get and grab it. Get and go, guys.
Yes.
Well, let's get and go on this. Hey,
anyway,
we're starting off.
What are we today, Dom?
We are starting off with Billy in the CW. Can you believe it, Robert?
I'm sorry. How long was I away? We're opening with Billy in the CW.
We're opening with Billy in the CW. Not quite CW.
Now, do we have time to talk about? Do we have time to talk about Billy in the CW today? I feel like we have a lot of stuff going on.
I think
to get to.
We have some time to talk about Natalya in the NWA. She got announced to be at the Crockett Cup pay-per-view coming up in Philadelphia, May 17th. She is a part of the festivities there. And Billy Corgan made a little bit of a statement here. He said, "We are so pleased."
Hold on. Before you get to that Billy in the CW news, which is incredibly important, I want to take this moment to talk about Magic Spoon. As a kid, I loved eating cereal, but as an adult, I don't want all that sugar, and most cereals don't give me the protein I need. Then I found Magic Spoon, a nostalgically delicious cereal that tastes just like my childhood favorites, but without the sugar and with a ton of protein. And if you're already a Magic Spoon fan, I have big news. Magic Spoon has turned their super popular cereal into high-protein treats that are light, crispy, and taste just like those classic crunchy cereal bars. Magic Spoon's brand new treats are so delicious and have already become one of my favorite snacks. And these Magic Spoon brand new treats are crispy, crunchy, airy, and an easy way to get 12 grams of protein on the go. And you can get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/rumor. Or look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/rumor for $5 off. Magic Spoon, hold on to the dream. And I have a dream that there is an episode of The Dynamite tonight, which will hopefully help me make sense of what the title of this show is.
Oh, you'll figure it out, sure enough. Did you want to give any thoughts on Italian NWA? Anything?
So I'm guessing it's Adam Copeland versus Wheeler Yuta.
That's correct.
We'll get to the Billy and CW thing in a little bit. We got a couple
Okay.
other news, and then I promise, guys, we will get to that story today.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Always a man of your word. I know it, especially with the Billy Corgan and stuff. So yeah, you're right, Robert. It's Wheeler Yuta and Cope. Wheeler Yuta is the last man standing besides John Moxley in the Death Riders.
Of course he is. Wheeler Yuta, handpicked by me in Major League Wrestling as one of the future talents. I took him and Jason Cade, who another remarkable underutilized wrestling talent out there, and I'm like, give them to me. That is going to be my team. We made them Team TBD because our original run sheet just said it was a tag team. It was going to be these guys against Team TBD, and I'm like, they're going to be Team TBD. That's going to be their name, and it's going to be a running gimmick. I love Yuta. Excited that he's going to get an opportunity to work with Cope, though. If we're being honest, and Dom, when are we not honest here?
We're honest.
We're an innuendo. We've seen a version of this story 30, 40 times. I'm going to run through all the henchmen to get to the only guy who's left. I know they took Pac off or took him out on an episode of Collision, I believe. Claudio and Marina Shafir got taken out last week. So it is Wheeler Yuta, the lone survivor, trying to go up against Adam Copeland. And I think Yuta's going to beat the crap out of him.
Oh, interesting. Let me. So yeah, you have your experience with Wheeler Yuta. What a kind of Yuta.
It's a state of mind.
Oh, I got
the
it.
Two Yutas.
The Yutas.
Yes.
Well, what would you do to kind of bring him out a little bit more? How would you position him in something like AEW? I know obviously that's quite the wild landscape considering how a lot of people don't get pushed in that company, but what would be the best way to position him and make him feel more viable?
I think an eye patch.
Oh, okay.
Worked for Pac.
Mm-hmm. And Moxley.
Man, they've had a lot of eye patch gimmicks in AEW now that you think about
it. Ortiz too.
Ortiz had an eye patch. I want to say at one point Eddie Kingston may have had an eye patch.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Danielson
had an eye patch. My God.
What the heck?
a lot of these guys, have turned into one-eyed monsters. And guys,
here we go.
I didn't even mean for this to happen, and here we are. We're going to talk about your one-eyed monster because you can have better sex with Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets. These erection-enhancing tablets help men achieve stronger, harder, and longer-lasting erections for sexual activity. Blue Chew is putting its money where its mouth is and offering you a month free. Process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door, so you can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead or be ready whenever an opportunity arises. The best part, it's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. It might be hard to get Wheeler Yuta over, but you're going to be over in the bedroom. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. We've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this episode of Dear God, What is that graphic?
I knew you did not see that.
Innuendo. No. Why does it look like I'm the lawyer for the Pirate of Penzance?
That's what it does look like. And
jeez, make this stop.
You said the word erection when that image was up too, by the way, Robert.
I mean, you can't help it. I look damn good in a suit. But someone else who looks damn good in his new robe is Ricochet. Yeah. And him and Swerve are going to be having a contract signing, Dom.
We've never seen contract signings in wrestling, so I'm really fascinated by what's going to happen here tonight. I think everybody looks forward to a contract signing. Are you looking forward to this one, Robert?
Well, considering I deal with contract signings all day, every day, and I would love for most of my big contract signings to end and me getting to hit someone with a chair. Yes, I'm excited for this.
All right. Yeah.
These are two guys who I believe are wildly talented, two people who I consider friends in the wrestling world. I like what they're putting together in this program and excited to see what happens here. I'm sure we're gonna get that weird noise from Ricochet that he makes. Don't do it.
I like it.
And the
Yeah.
only match announced for tonight is a women's match. Is Tony Khan aware of this?
He might put the kibosh on that. We got Thunder Rosa and Chris Statlander going up against Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. I like this match. Obviously they had the whole thing about the chair thing and Chairgate, if you want to call it that, I guess. But yeah, all these women can go, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if Team Joey Janela can overcome the odds.
Yeah.
Are they Eskimo sisters? Is that a phrase? Does that work?
I
I don't know how
guess
that
would work.
I don't know. I mean, if that was the case, CM Punk would have a hell of a stable.
My goodness, yes.
It would have a whole igloo.
A whole igloo. Yeah, and that's all they have on the card here tonight. It's in Sacramento. But that's it.
They're in the sack. And speaking of, nope, sorry, we already did that. We already did this.
Yes,
we're not getting a second bite of the apple. We got too much news to talk about. I want to get back to that Billy and the CW story, but I know that there was a controversial second controversial tweet of the week to get deleted by somebody of note. First was the Becky Lynch tweet of doom that she threw out there the other day, trying to imply that there was some funny business with CM Punk and Roxanne Perez, and then Dave Meltzer implying a different kind of funny business.
That's it. Yes, Dave Meltzer. Are you familiar with his work, Robert?
I have seen. I've never seen a Wrestling Observer newsletter in person.
I haven't either.
I've been on a Wrestling Observer podcast before, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was a guest years ago.
With Lance?
No, long before Lance.
Oh, wow! How about that?
Yeah, that's in the archives. If you're a Wrestling Observer subscriber, cancel that subscription and subscribe to the Working Stiff Patreon instead. But if you want both, you can go look that up in the archive. It's floating around there somewhere. I tell the story of Vince McMahon's fighting army of hobos.
Ooh, I don't know that story.
If we have time, maybe we'll get to the fighting hobo story and the Billy and the CW news. But first, Dave Meltzer and his never wrong journalistic nose for justice.
Okay, so Dave quote tweeted nodq.net or something, wrestling no DQ. I don't know what it is, but either way, they had a feature piece or something about John Cena turning heel. And then for some reason, I don't know why, Dave decided to quote tweet this and add this news bit to it. The motivation is that Dwayne, that's The Rock, everyone, wanted Cody legit, and I know this as a fact, meaning he wanted Cody to turn heel is what he's implying. And I know this as a fact because a mutual friend last week mentioned the politics, as Levesque absolutely thought it was a terrible idea. But in a fight with Dwayne, with Nick, that's Nick Khan, as arbiter, he loses every time. However, several convinced Cody to simply refuse. So art was a lot like life this time. Dwayne wouldn't go after Cody politically, so he let it go. Cena was the second choice, and Cena was fine with it. Punk was never asked. And yes, he made that tweet, and then he deleted that tweet.
Absolutely, because there are a precious few in the WWE who were aware in advance of what was going to happen. The John Cena heel turn was kept to primarily Cody Rhodes, The Rock, John Cena, Travis Scott for some reason, and Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
That is why it was shot in a somewhat clunky manner. It was not blocked in advance. Most of these are. This is why you have production meetings, by the way. Unrelated, apropos of nothing. The Dynamite is tonight. You need those production meetings because you can't just shoot wrestling like it is a live sport. You need to know those camera angles in advance. You need to be able to know where you need to be, where each guy is going to be, when they're going to do what they're going to do, and the like. That was not the case here. So the number of people who knew that the Cena turn was happening is very small, which means the number of people who knew about The Rock's overtures to try to get Cody to be the heel was a very small number of people. And Meltzer putting this out there because he just has to let you know that he knows stuff, guys. He has been doing this for 50, 60, 70 years, 80 years. He was doing this when Abe Lincoln was doing the wrestling circuit all those years ago. And I think he'd be a terrible president. He's got no one rear naked choke, and he's got no peripheral vision back there. He could have saved his life. Anyway, the John Wilkes commentary booth. But yeah, so this is Meltzer's insecurity with knowing that he's been essentially phased out from getting a lot of the insider WWE news. That seems to be filtered to Sean Ross Sapp. He's the guy who seems to be getting all of the exclusives that are out there. Meltzer's direct lifeline in wrestling is Tony Khan. Doesn't do him a lot of good because the number of people watching All Elite Wrestling has dwindled. So you're playing to a fraction of your audience, and all the great, juicy WWE news seems to be funneled out either through Fightful or through WrestleVotes, and then aggregated by our good friends at SE Scoops. Hey, see what I did there? So this is Dave trying to be like, I still have my finger on the pulse, but he probably tipped his hat a little too low. And they were like, wait a minute. We can probably deduce who the 5 or 6 people are who would have known this information. And then they're telling it to Dave. That person's career was probably very much in jeopardy. And that's why Meltzer was like, oh, yeah, no, I should probably pull this back. None of the underlying subtext in this is surprising. We all know that the relationship with Dwayne Johnson and Paul Levesque is a little questionable, little murky. It's The Rock is on the TKO board. The TKO board oversees WWE. I've hypothesized that the decision to put Hunter into the Hall of Fame is very much a Rock power play move. Rock really tried for that Rock Roman Reigns match last year. It got taken away. He's a bit insecure elsewhere in his entertainment portfolio. Young Rock being canceled, the box office results for Black Adam negating his future in the DC universe, his Santa Claus movie, while it did make a lot of money on Amazon, it didn't do anything at the box office. And Moana 2, which did a pretty good number of business, is not because it featured The Rock. So he needs to kind of wrap his hands around the things that he can control. And what he can control right now is the WWE. So he really wants to make sure that he has his finger on the pulse. This would have been the wrong time to turn Cody heel. We know wrestling fans. We know how this audience works. We know eventually they will turn Cody Rhodes heel. Mm-hmm. They're going to get sick of the smile. They're going to get sick of him overcoming the odds, of him being a white meat baby face. And there's going to be a fervent opposition in that audience that's going to boo the hell out of this guy. And eventually you can turn Cody heel, and heel Cody, when he's full Homelander, is going to be something to behold. Mm-hmm. But we're not there yet. There's still a lot of juice in what's going on with Cody. You know, we talked about the John Cena heel turn. The reason Cena was not going to be turned heel, I know there's the myth story. There's the idea of, well, as long as he's getting a reaction, he's a babyface, he's a heel. No. John Cena was the number 1 merch guy at a point in time where we did not have a number 2 merch guy for a very long time. It really wasn't until CM Punk, as a guy who could at least show, hey, he can sell shirts, but he's not a guy you can trust to put the company behind him because he is emotionally volatile, or at the time was volatile, and now seems a little more business-minded. If you turn John Cena heel and you turn that faucet off of all those t-shirts and hats and towels and lunchboxes and pajamas, you need somebody to fill that role. And there just wasn't somebody there for a long time. Cody is the number 1 merchandise seller. Jey Uso is the number 2 merchandise seller of the active roster. Roman, when they put merch out, it sells like hotcakes. So to turn Cody heel, you'd really need somebody that's going to immediately step up and fill that spot. And while Jey Uso is doing well, he's not quite at the Cody numbers. He's not quite the ambassador of the company. And they have not found a babyface ambassador of this company since John Cena. Cena being happy that he turned heel makes a lot of sense. He's talked about wanting to be a heel. Friend of the show, Chris Van Vliet, interviewed him about that. He's a guy who now has a number of fresh matchups and opportunities. The power plays that are going on with Triple H and The Rock, with Nick Khan in the middle, could get, I was going to say hornier. Wow, I was going to say thornier. And I saw the Blue Chew ad. My brain, nope. Get that free month of Blue Chew out of here. But This is Dave trying to shake loose and see what's going to happen, and then realizing he may have stepped on a landmine. And he needs to pull back. Dom, as a wrestling journalist,
Yes.
what do you think of the situation?
The thing is like, I hear stuff. I've heard stuff. I've heard stuff that's pretty crazy. But the fact,
Now, are these coming from other people or just the voices in your head? Because you're
well,
alone right now in your
I do
apartment. You're
hear
looking
stuff.
around.
Yeah, but these are from people in the industry. I do hear from, and I would love to say some stuff like that, but there's that dichotomy that you have where you don't say this kind of stuff, even if it makes you look good, or it's big news. You're changing. You don't do that stuff.
See, guys, this is why we will never know what that important appointment Greg Gagne had.
That's it. You got to keep things close to the vest here.
Correct. We don't know what type of fungus it was, where the fungus was located, but we know that Greg is getting it taken care of, and we appreciate that.
We actually did break what he's got to do. He's got to get back surgery, actually. So, thoughts for Greg Gagne out there. But
thoughts for Greg Gagne. He's going for back surgery. He'll be okay.
It's tough though. It's
it was from carrying the AWA all those years.
That's it, man. That's it. So yeah, but no, Robert, I think Meltzer. Yeah, I think you make valid points in what his thought process is he's got to say something and he's got to get the word out about hey, I did know this, just so you know. And then ultimately it's not a good move because such a small amount of people were aware of what was going on. So
there's a comment here from Devin Dowling that I want to address. Does John Cena turning heel under the authority of The Rock make Cena look less than or like a little brother to The Rock?
Let me say, Robert, you made a great point of this, and you're going to make it here right now, but I know you made a great point of this on Working Stiff that I completely agree with.
Yeah, we went into this a little further on Working Stiff because I know my Working Stiff co-host, Mike Lawrence, was not a fan of this because of that. And I said this is by design. And you can go and listen to the totality of that on that episode because we went deep down the rabbit hole. But the long list, because we don't have a lot of time here. We got Billy the CW news to get to. But the long and the short of it here is, if John Cena turned heel on his own, that's a cool move by a badass. John Cena doing this at the behest of The Rock makes him look like a little bitch, makes him look like a lesser than heel. So you're not going to cheer John Cena. This isn't the cool bad guy. This is the lackey, the henchman, the number two, and he's kissing up to The Rock. So you as a fan are not going to cheer the anti-hero. You're going to boo this guy who can't stand up on his own and is being an obnoxious little bastard.
And the fact too that John Cena goes a level lower than The Rock, that only puts him like Cody in this in-between area too, where it elevates Cody in a lot of ways because he's the guy you want to root for in this whole feud. Because why do you want to root for a lackey? Why do you want to root for a Manchurian candidate in John Cena when it's, The Rock, helmet everything and trying to pull all the strings? So I thought that was a great point, Robert. Yeah.
It was a great point. And look, you're seeing a lot of interesting things that WWE is doing. Obviously, the John Cena heel turn we never thought we'd see. We saw the Io Sky win to win the title on Raw. Now we're seeing Natalya, which I know, we want to get to. But before we get to that, I want to know if you guys are ready to optimize your nutrition this year.
There we go. Yeah.
Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. Your dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes so you can fuel right and feel great no matter what life throws at you. Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. With over 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. It can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfast, grab-and-go snacks, and more. I crushed one of those smoothies this morning. It was pineapple, basil, turmeric, which I didn't know how that was going to taste. Dude, it was amazing. I would have just drank that even if it wasn't a fresh pressed juice that gave me all that energy. Just tastes damn good, and you can taste damn good. I don't know why you could taste damn good. You'll enjoy things that taste damn good, and you can eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use code factorpodcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code factorpodcast at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. I'm glad that you didn't create a weird extra graphic.
Oh no, I didn't even make that other graphic too. We had our team member Wes do that. So
wait, we have a team.
yeah, there's
I just thought this was you.
No,
Dude, you think I know what's going on here 9 times out of 10? I show up, we talk about all the news in WWE, AEW, and now Billy and the CW with the NWA. But you also talk to a number of other shows, other co-hosts, including the great Rob Van Dam.
That's right. Me and RVD, One of a Kind with RVD. You can go to rvdtv.com or One of a Kind with RVD on wherever you get your damn podcast. Our latest episode had me and Rob talking about a lot of different things when it comes to.
I would hope so.
Outside of pro wrestling and a little bit of the business too. He tells a fun travel lodge story with Gary Albright, the ECW Travel Lodge. If you're aware of what goes on there,
Dom, is there a ghost in your apartment?
My cat is literally knocking around a piece of silverware. I think. It's a key.
There's so many questions I was going to have as to why your cat had silverware.
Yeah,
how well trained is this cat that it's able to use a key?
There it is.
Why is there a key? Your apartment is a nightmare factory.
It is.
Unlike Cody's nightmare factory, you're there's cats with keys. There's voices that you hear. There's that mysterious door that never seems to open. It's strange, and it's why people tune in here every Monday through Friday at noon Eastern on a plethora of platforms, including WWE Creative _ISH X account, the @Dominic D'Angelo X account, the @SE Scoops X account, and on YouTube on Rumor and Innuendo, Working Stiff, and ad-free shows. Dom, hell of an episode today. I excited to get to do it all over again tomorrow. We get to talk about the Dynamite. So on behalf of the Keymaster, Dominic D'Angelo, I'm Robert Karpolis. Best of luck in your future endeavors.
Aren't you the gatekeeper?
Wait.